everybody. Welcome to Thursday. Welcome to moving into fall and doing a 12 by 12 one sheet wonder. I'm not going to start a series on this. I got this idea from Treasure Books, and I'll put a link to her version of it in the description box. And I am going to be working on several of these because I have stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of 12 by 12 paper. Some gifted, some purchased, and some I just need to find a home for. Now, as with all creators, we often change things up, and that is no exception with today. I'm going to be doing something slightly different with mine, and for a reason. So I have this whole, well, not whole, but partially used wine and velvet fall paper pack from Michael's with lots and lots of stuff in here. So I'm going to use, definitely going to use, I'm going to do the 12 by 12 one sheet wonder, but I'm also going to be taking some of the pieces out of here to embellish them or to dress them up or to do something different. Like, for example, the one I'm going to show you today, I want to put, I'll throw some other cut aparts in here. I want to put, I know there is, something like maybe this one or this, one of these behind one of the cuts we're going to make, or possibly from another piece. Now, this one I cut from one of the sheets, this color. So, but this is all going to be going into creating these items that we're creating today. And the triangle pieces should turn out to be like a large paper clip, but for this one I'm not going to be doing that. I have got something else in mind, and so anyhow, that's my take on it. Now let's get started. And for this, I'm gonna mark the center just so I know where I'm at. This is our little journal. And then this is our mini journal. And I want to give these a slightly larger spine than just this, right? I want them to be a little bigger. So we've got that, and we've got that. And we've got this and this. This was all cut from one 12 by 12 sheet of paper. So I'm going to show you. This piece goes here. This piece goes here. This piece goes here. And then this piece goes here. So see, this is our 12 by 12. So you're going to be making 1, 2, 3 cuts. 3 cuts, 4 pieces, and there we are. So I have the dimensions. This one is the ephemera holder, and it's 9.5 by, I can't remember now. It's 9.5 long, and then this is 5.5 tall. So if you subtract 9.5 from 12, you get, let me find my calculator. I'm not even going to try to do this on my own. I need to know the difference. Anyhow, let's see, 5.5 from 9, or 5.5 from 12. Good grief, Rhonda. I want calculator, not calendar. Okay, so 12. Somebody's out there like, I already got it. Minus 5.50 equals 6.5. Okay, So this is 6.5 by 9.5. That's 9.5 by 6.5. This piece is 5.5 by, I'm gonna say, let's look. This might be much easier. 5.5 by 8.5. Our mini one is 5.5 by 3.5. And I will give you the cuts in the description box. I'm going to link you to Treasure Book's channel, and you can go and watch her video, see how she does hers, and then get yourself a screenshot. That's the word. A screenshot of how she does her stuff. Okay, how she does hers. All right, so for my ephemera holder, it was basic. Just fold it in half. That's this one. But from here to here, we have to do a triangle. Now you can do that any way you like. You can turn it over, use your ruler. I did a point from here to here, and I'm probably just going to do a little idea here. That's probably as far as I want to go. I don't know if we can see that. So from here to here, I'm going to draw my triangle. And then from here to here, I'll draw my triangle. Okay, we'll cut that out. I think I brought everything but scissors today, guys. Just kidding. Cut this piece out. Now, again, you can keep this triangle for the paper clip, or you can do this and glue it on the inside so you don't lose it, right? Glue it right to the top. This way you don't have that. It looks like it's all together, and then you can, of course, ink this edge, which is what I'm going to do. There's that one. And then here's our thin one, same thing. We put this in the center. Draw this down. Now on this one, I'm not too worried because it's going to go on our paper. So once we get that cut, it'll have that orangish brown background, see? And this is a bookmark holder. Now, the way I learned to do this, I think the cuts were a little different. I did this for a swap, a Facebook swap, and I just wasn't entirely sure about that whole paper clip, and I thought, you know what? We can probably find better places for this. So I can leave this one as is and just ink it, right? And then our bookmark will go in here. And a bookmark I'm going to cut from another piece. Right, so there's that. There's this piece. And then we need, what else do we need? Oh, we need to score our mini journal. So this is at 3 3/4. And I feel like I want mine to be 1/8 to this side and 1/8 to this side. And now you see our spine. Did not pin that exactly correctly. I need to redo. Do you see what I did? Let me start from this side. And go to this side. Now, for my center here, I plan on putting washi to give it a little more stability. And we'll have one little signature right down the middle. Okay? So there's our mini. There's our mini journal. And then here's our medium journal. Well, the largest journal you're going to get from this one sheet wonder. Okay, so we're going to go, do we want to go 1/8? Or do I want to keep, yeah, I want to go to 1/2. And then I want to go, so that's 1, 2, 1, 2 over here. I want this one to be just slightly thicker, right? And the same thing, I'm going to go in my washi tape bin, or maybe even my packing tape, and we're going to create a little thicker spine. And so now we have our 4 pieces, and we can embellish. You can embellish however you like. For this one, I need to do my, I don't know if I want to use that black ink. I have this gorgeous green. I think that might show up on there much better. So let me move into stage 2 and I'll be right back. All right, guys, it wasn't hard for me to make the decision and go with the potting soil because it stands out better, although the fern green was not bad. So the fern green, I think I'll put on the orange because it turned out pretty nice. And then the potting soil goes on the green. So we're going to use the potting soil. Anyhow, this goes on the inside of that ephemera holder. You can put journaling, a big journaling card in there. Whatever you put in there is going to need to be tall. You could put some scraps or whatever you wanted, but I just felt like it makes a better journaling card than anything, because that's a pretty shallow dip cut V. All right, we're going to fly around these corners. You could round your corners if you want. I probably will round this piece. I think if you keep this one corner sharp and then round that one, it gives it a little more dimension. Just my opinion, but. All right, so then we'll do the green around this guy. Now you can sew these, you can glue these, you can do whatever your heart's desire is on those. I gotta get a corner rounder, guys. That way I'm not inking twice, right? Only need one inking. Or try to only do it once. Okay, here we go. Now we'll go around these corners super quick. I'm not going to show you the signatures in these today. I just wanted to show you the basic construction. And then you'll get an idea of how they look together. You can enclose them or close them however you see fit. I've got another idea for that. All right, so this one will go glued here. Just like so. And this will hold your bookmark. My glue is going to cooperate with me today. Yes! All right, so just a thin. Go as thin as you can here because you need enough to grab, but you also need space for your bookmark, right? And again, you can embellish these fronts if you want to with stickers, clusters, fall sentiment words, stamps, stencils. What do you call them? Art Nouveau drops. Any of that you could put there. All right, so this we're gonna sort of center as best we can. All right, so there now is your bookmark. It is ready to go. As is. You can embellish, you can do whatever. That's the bookmarker. Then here is our guy. We said the potting soil. Speaking of, that's where I'm headed right after I finish this video, is out to my garden. Yeah, I procrastinated almost too late this year. We know that our tomatoes grow best in cool weather, not freezing, so I should be okay on my tomatoes. Although, oh, I was going to round these corners. What concerns me is tomatoes, or any plant for that matter, has growing stages. Which I mean, I get that, but there's the growth stage, the production stage, and there was something else, but like the bloom and then the growth. Okay, so we're around this one. Probably should have rounded these corners, but this gets glued in here. I'll just put it up to the top and then trim that. All right, so this gets glued here. And this you can go all over because it has no other purpose other than to cover that white area. Now, if you don't like the white on the inside of your journals, feel free to cover them with book page, tissue paper, napkins, whatever you would like in order to disguise. All right, now see, I have that. So you can see it's a little bit of white, but this is going to be glued down. And we're not going to see that. All right, we're coming around this side. And again, this is your ephemera holder. A little thick there. I'm going to glue this along the bottom. And now you have your ephemera holder or journaling card, whatever you would like. Here's this and this. We have our larger cover and our smaller cover for the... Now she laminated hers, and you could if you choose to. I'm just going to leave mine as is, but again, I'm going to put a piece of washi tape down the center. And let's see if I have any right on top. Of course not. I'll be right back, guys. All right, that didn't take long because I found some pretty quick. We're going to just take this down the center. And I always like to go ahead and glue down the center first, because we all know that washi tape is not notoriously famous for staying down. But if you glue it, then stick it, it stays much better. All right, and this isn't exactly fall idea here, but again, this is just for stability. And if you're not happy with how the thing looks, you can always either use a different one or do what I'm going to do. Now I think once we get our pages in there, mine wants to twist that way for some reason. I don't know why. It'll be okay. It's going to work. All right, there's that. Now you can still see that a bit, so I may go over it with something else to kind of try to hide what's in there. We can disguise things in many ways, guys. Just go over it with the black. Did that work? Yeah, ish. Go a little bit to the side there. Okay, so now you can't see. All right, we got that going for us. Now here is where we'll just put in our signature. And I'm not going to do that in this stage of the game. If you wanted and you want this to be even more stable, you can take a piece of your scrap and cut it to fit. And then take a piece of your scrap and cut it to fit. So ours is actually going to be 4 by 5.5. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then I can show you how that's going to look. Sorry for my interruption and the big. Okay, so we said 4 by 5.5, right? We're going to need 2 of these. 4. Save your scraps. Save your scrap. 5, 4. Save your scrap. So here's the 2 inside pieces as they would look. Round our corners. I would only round on the outside, just because if you round them on the inside, you're going to get that white. Not you. You. Line them up just like so. Hey, that looks pretty good, guys. What do you think? So this is an easy peasy. You could be sitting. I would pay attention if I were me when I'm cutting the pieces, but once you get them all cut, you could very easily just embellish and work on these while you're sitting in front of your TV or visiting with friends on the phone, or, you know. Now, isn't this pretty? So we took a piece of washi tape that had hamburgers and food on it. We took a piece of 12 by 12 and we created something very cute. I hope that didn't go all the way over. Nope, it's just right. Look at that. All right, now what I want to do is ink around this with the potting soil. And if you find your edges are coming up, like here, just go ahead and use heavier glue there. Let's get some potting soil here and go around and ink any of those light spots you see. See, that's why I was saying you don't probably want to trim these with the corner trimmer because you're going to have some obvious white there to cover up. And you can do the same on the smaller journal, the mini journal. And voila. So I think before we get too late in the year, I will probably take a day to coffee dye paper if I didn't ink the outside edge. See, and it's going to be hard to see where that paper from underneath shows because you've gone along and inked both sides. All right, guys, that is my contribution to the 12 by 12 one sheet wonder, and then a little bit. I mean, you're probably always going to pull from your own stash to create things, right? But for the most part, I thought this was an extremely clever way to use up one 12 by 12 sheet of paper. Now, where's our mini journal? Our mini is, we've lost our mini. Here's our mini. Same thing. This one's going to hold a larger piece of washi, or would hold a smaller piece of washi, but I'm okay with it going over the edge. I can cover up that dark color, that black ink. I'll press this down. Cut. Ooh, I didn't want to do that. It's okay though. We're going to put a piece of the orange over it. Anyhow, just not in this video, so we'll trim that off. And now we have our reinforced spine. And you could even do washi on the outside if you have a cute fall type washi. And I have I have tons of washi. So let me grab a piece real quick. And get something that's fall colored. That might work. I'll just bring a handful over, guys, that I think might work. I was gifted a large bag of washi, and I had bagged up most of my washi, and I thought I'm just gonna keep it or use it. And then this lady gave me a whole bag of it, and I said, well, I guess I'll keep it. Look at this. This will be perfect. Now I just have to determine that's the front, which is my front and which is my back. So we're going to go up. And then we'll take our washi. This one's brand new. That's not even been used yet, which is cool. And we'll go right along our spine. I could conceivably go up that middle with that one as well. I definitely could, but I'm not going to. We're just going to cover that piece. All right. I'm going to let that one dry well, because if you bend it, that washi tape will come up. So we'll give this one some drying time. And then we'll round those corners. If you're wondering what I'm doing, this is a glue eraser. So if you get glue on your projects, you can erase it with this. Got these from Amazon for like, I don't know, 75 cents. They were cheap. They came, I'm giving you the per piece price. I think I got 4 to a package, and it was like $5 or less. You know, shipping, handling, or taxes, etc. All right, so let's round this corner. We'll cut the pieces to fit on the inside, just like we did the other, so it's matching. Glue that in, but I think I am going to go over this with just because it's a nicer, better matching color. Let's just keep this nice. There we go. Yeah, that looks much nicer. And we've got an even more reinforced spine there. We match. Yeah, Rhonda. Just keep it. All right, so there's our little mini. So you would embellish these, correct, right? Just get these embellished. And then here's your pieces. They'll all go together as such. Kind of nice, huh? Now for me, I would rather have seen this one, the big journal, this one, the mini journal, and I may play with that myself, but that's how it would look, right, guys? And embellish however you want. And of course, add your spine. So I'm going to get a big old stack of my 12 by 12, and I'm going to work on these, and I'm going to get these put together. And this is something I'll do when I'm not doing anything, so I can load them up in my coffee shop. Okay? All right, guys, you are amazing. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for crafting with the Diva today. I truly appreciate you spending this creative time with me. If you've enjoyed this project, please like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep it creative, keep it inspired, and I'll see you soon.